Welcome in, and welcome back to the show. This is Wise Tiffany So Talented with your host, me, Tiffany. This is the show that I do to show you exactly what I'm doing when I'm not making your shea butter soaps or hot cocoa bombs. And this week is the butterfly episode. I really hope you love it. Starting a new dress. Did you see the new dress alert? It's cute, right? So the concept for this dress is a abstract monarch butterfly, but in obvious pink tones. Let me show you the inspiration over here, and we're gonna get into it because this is going to be an amazing feat, I promise you. So here's the drawing. Basically, it's a nude bodice with two panel holes on the side, one big one small on the other side. Long, smooth gown, no splits, and this is the inspiration. So it's inspired by Stilo Moda tendencies. Of course, I'm gonna put my own little Tiffany So Talented spin on it. This is just for kind of a visual reference. I'm not copying it in any kind of way, but I am going to try to recreate this kind of shoulder accent here, and then I'm gonna bring the same kind of shoulder accent off of the side here. I still want to keep her waist nice and cinched, but I want to bring a pop-out kind of accent. So I've cut this really thick kind of meshy fabric. I can't remember the name of it. It starts with a B, but I'll write it somewhere down here in the video. And I'm trying to work on the placement. I know they look like hearts right now, but it's definitely gonna be a wing. So I'm trying to figure out the placement. And I kind of feel like this deep V that I cut here is a little too deep. So when I cover it with the fabric, I think I might just bring the cut to maybe here. But then I have one here on this side here. This is what I was talking about, where I was saying I want to keep her waist looking cinched, but I still want to have one that kind of shoots off the side. I don't know, but I do like in the picture, inspiration picture, there was one that was kind of over here like this. So I was thinking about putting one here too, and then, but I think that might be 3 on one side, might be too much. So I might just keep the one here on the hip and then do a smaller version of this coming off this side of the back. What do you think? I don't know, but it's a trial and error. We're gonna figure it out. Okay, so this is the configuration I'm going with. This one is gonna go here like that. I put a cute little small one on the back and another one at the top of the shoulder here. So what I'm doing over here at the sewing machine is creating just a sleeve like this, basically drawing out the fabric in the same shape and just doing a straight stitch, flipping it inside out, and that is how you get the cover. But I will show you exactly what I'm doing. I just wanted to show you this for now. So the first thing you want to do is take your shape and just trace it out on your fabric. This is some nude lycra, just a scrap piece as you can see. And I'm going to cut this out and pin it together. All right, it's cut out and it's pinned up. I didn't leave any seam allowance because this is stretchy fabric, so it's gonna stretch around the piece anyway. So let's sew a straight stitch on a width of 1, a length of 3, and straight stitch, of course. My tension is on 4.5, and it's at the center point of the needle. Alright, so this is what it's looking like. We're not cutting any excess edges off. It's gonna go inside anyway, so I'm gonna flip it inside out like that. So it is technically a sleeve. I don't know what to call it, but it's gonna hold our little shape. And stuff this inside. Okay, so now that you've got it inside, you want to kind of take the side that's open, fold it into itself like that, and we're going to do a zigzag stitch to close it off. On the same tension level, same stitch length, we're just going to switch the machine from a straight stitch to a zigzag. This piece is done. Let's put it on the dress. Let's do this one this way, like that. Okay, so for this bigger one, I don't know if I should break it into 2 pieces or just sew it as one big piece. I think I'm just gonna sew it as one big piece and make the best of it. So let's trace it out. All right, so I traced it out, cut it out, pinned it up. Remember, I was saying I was going to close that up a little bit when I do the covering. So that is where my close up is looking like. So let's do this straight stitch and then I'll be back. Oh my God, I am fighting this damn thing to get it in here. Oh. No, don't rip. it is a little loose, as you can see. So what I'm going to do to fix that is to fold all whatever is loose over like this. But I'm going to cut the excess off after I zigzag stitch it. So I'm going to zigzag stitch it right along the edge and then cut the rest of this off. So let me pin it down. You want to make sure that you get all the pieces of fabric. You want to catch all of the layers. My kids are calling me. They're probably like, where the hell is you at, Mom? Yes, it is very crude, but it's going to do the job, and I'm going to stone over it anyway. All right, so this one goes here. Something like that. See if I can do it with one hand. Alright, I'm gonna make sure I stone the back of it so it doesn't look so crude, but that is pretty much the technique to cover your interfacing pieces. Well, it's extra thick interfacing. I got 4 more to go. Oh my God, this is taking forever. Oh, this is why I don't sew. I leave it to the seamstresses to do that. This is the hard work. I like to do the easy work, stoning, embellishing. That's the easy work. All this sewing is hard. So I got my big one here. I got 2 of the smaller ones there. I got the other 2 small ones there. So now I'm working on the 2 small ones that were the medium-sized ones that were here, and it's taking forever. Oh, it's almost dark outside. I've been here since 5 a.m. It is literally, let's see, Apple Watch says 7 p.m. how many hours I've been working today. All right, let me stop crying like a baby. It's not really hard. It's just time consuming. That's what it is. I'd rather look like embellishing is not time consuming. It is. It absolutely is. But, you know, complaining makes the day go by faster. I'm just kidding. But it is taking forever. It's very time consuming. But I got this one done. And I only have one more. Then I can go home. Maybe I'll stop by Salad and Go and grab me something to eat on the way home. Maybe Jack in the Box and get an egg roll. Maybe 3. But luckily I'm on the last one. And then I can go home. I was watching the video. Maybe I'll link it in the chat or in the description about freeing yourself from workplace slavery. Even if you enjoy your job. I was like, oh my God, is that what it is? I'm just enjoying being captive to these crystals. I'm a captive to the crystals. Oh my gosh. Alright, so now that I've got all of my butterfly petals nice and covered, it's time to maybe draw out the design on the dress first and see how I'm gonna continue to incorporate the rest of the design into these petals. Well, into the, what would they be? Wings? Yeah, into the wings. Seems like I'm just making myself a lot of work. Okay, so this is kind of where I'm starting. I guess the purple lines would be black, and then I'll fill it in with color. Yeah, so this is where we're going. So we shall see. I drew a couple more down here on the torso, just to kind of fill in this area here. So that's where I'm gonna start. I'm not even gonna draw the whole dress. I'm just gonna start and jump into it. But I can take these petals off, so I can jump into it. Alright, so I got the first petal. I keep wanting to say petal like it's a flower, but first wing done. Oh my God. Oh, it's coming together. It's looking gorgeous. Oh, I cannot wait to get to this bigger one. But I'm gonna jump to these other 2 smaller ones. See how you can barely kind of see it sticking over? I think I'm just gonna sprinkle in this same ruby color on the backs of these 2, just very lightly. But for now, I'm gonna jump back into these 2. We'll jump into these 2. So this is just kind of like a loose interpretation of what I'm drawing on each one of the petals. So the main vein in the center is going to be the separation line, kind of like this one here. I just try to exaggerate them with each one a little different in the line. This one is even. So I'm trying to switch it up a little bit with each kind of. I keep wanting to say petal or feather, but it's a wing. Wing, Tiffany, wing. Alright, so I finished stoning the smaller ones here. It's those two and then these two. So now I'm gonna move on to the bigger one. Julia asked me to make it a little smaller and cut it up into 2 pieces, so that's what I did. And for my sewing girlies, all I did was reshape it with a zigzag stitch. That's why you can see the interfacing. So as you can see, I'm double framing them here, front and back, this one so you can see better. And so that will cover up the interfacing anyway. So let's get into stoning that one. It's coming together so gorgeous. So this week I'm working on a butterfly concept dress. Let me show you the inspiration so you can really get into it. It's so pretty. So Stilo Moda Tendencias, I think it's a Latin brand. I saw this and I just absolutely fell in love with it and was like, you know what? I can make this ballroom. So I'm making something similar, not exactly the same. Of course, I'm gonna put my Tiffany So Talented on it. And this is what I've come up with so far. So they made theirs look more flower-esque, and I actually want to go with the butterfly. Now, they made theirs, like I said, in the butterfly kind of tones. That's why it gives you butterfly, but it's looking more petal flower. So I want to make mine same kind of vibe, but actually more intentionally looking butterfly. I think I might move this to this side just because see how it kind of spikes up here with a hang off of the bust at the top. I absolutely love this part of the process. I got to pull so many different color pinks within these wings, and as you can see, the very tips closest to the black are the ruby color. I used that same ruby in all 3 sizes, 30s, 16s, and 20s. And then within the top where you see me putting the dots right now, and on the last piece inside the black part was the peony pink in size 20s. Then I'm going to go back in within all of the ruby and all of the peony pink and add the size 16s in. And then in that final section toward the bottom, I believe that is dark red lacquer. Yeah, that's a dark red lacquer. Well, not what I'm putting in now. That's still the peony pink in the size 16s. But in this next section, we're going in with the dark red lacquer in the size 20, and it's gonna be gorgeous. I can't wait for you to see all of the pieces put together. Those pairs that you see framing the top of the wing are also in that same dark red lacquer. I wanted to keep all of the colors cohesive, so I pulled in a bunch of specialties in that same color just to keep everything nice. And I ended up having to frame the edge of that part of the wing in the dark red lacquer size 30s, and it came out wonderfully. Oh my God, here's your first look. Oh, I think it's coming together amazingly. This is the bust. I have those petals that I did kind of staggered on top of each other to the right, and the one spiky one over to the left shoulder, or is it vice versa? Either way, it's gorgeous. I created this beautiful frame for the opening panels, and I just love the way that came out. Don't you? Alright, so I got the bodice done and I'm working my way down the torso, and this is pretty much the outline of where we're going. This bigger loop like this is gonna look like one of these with these kind of stones. See how it's kind of arched like that? So that's where we're going. So this is how far I've gotten on the abstract butterfly dress. I think it looks very, very abstract, but it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I'm working my way around. It's been a whole week and a half already. I was already under the understanding that this dress was going to be time consuming, so I'm prepared for it. But I only have this panel, this side panel, and then this one in the center. But as less as that sounds, it's still a lot of property to stone. But it's gorgeous. I cut up that bigger one and made so these two here and then one over here, just because I stoned it so heavily I didn't want to not use it. But Julia came back from her vacation and said that that larger one was just too big, so we're just gonna cut it. Well, I just cut it up. But I have a lot of real estate to cover today. Hopefully I can get it done. I was thinking about starting at the bottom, but I'm thinking because it's smaller up top, I'm gonna start at the top. New dress alert, new dress alert. So I am almost done with this beautiful abstract butterfly dress. So remember I had the big giant one here and it was attached to this piece, so obviously I cut them into two pieces and I used these two petals that were on the back and moved those to the front. I still have those two on the side, but I added a piece of that big one to that side. I think it looks gorgeous. Let me move around to the back of the dress. I'm almost done with the back. Oh, I think the back even looks better than the front. I love the way this is coming out. As you can see, I got these two at the bottom, and then to fill in these little sections, kind of like how I did this, just a loose sprinkle, and this will be done. Just very loosely sprinkled here, up in here, down in these two spots. But I think it came out amazing. Oh, and then I have to sew down all of my little extra floppy flop pieces. Maybe I'll do a loose sprinkle up here too in some of the frame with the purple squares like this. Maybe I'll frame it up really nice like that. It's not really a lot of space, but I'll do something just to create an accent. But I like the back. The back looks actually better than the front. It's so pretty. I love the way it just like pops off the sides. I was feeling a little pinky today. So got some burgundy kind of pinky tones to match my dress. Julia says I always match my dresses. I don't think so, but let her tell it. But it's so pretty. All right, let's finish that spot and maybe do a loose sprinkle here and here as well. I like it looking blank though. I don't know. The butterfly dress is finally done, and oh my God, this dress literally took me 2 weeks. I did do a whole nother dress in the meantime. You'll probably get that video before I put the butterfly dress out. But oh my God, this dress is so beautiful. It's more of a abstract butterfly, but I love the way that it came out. The inspiration was an abstract butterfly as well, but this one is in pink tones, and oh, I love it. Let me let you get into it. Oh, look at it. Isn't it so cute? I'm cute too today. But it is so pretty. I got all the petals sewn down and glued down. Some of these other petals look like petals that would pop off, like how these ones are, the 3D petals. Like this one, for instance, this one kind of feels to me like it's a petal that could come off. But it's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Let me turn it around. It's gorgeous. The back, I feel like, is even more graphic than the front. But I love the way this side panel came out with the frame. It's just gorgeous all the way around. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love the way this dress came out. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel like you missed a step or you need further guidance and understanding on exactly how I do what it is that I do, feel free to send me an email at tiffanysotalented@gmail.com. And thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. I'm trying to get my subscriber count to 500 since YouTube changed their monetization policies from 1,000 to 500. I'm about at 350. If you could help me get to 500, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.